Hi, I'm Freya from Expecting Antenatal Classes. If you've chosen to formula feed your baby, I'd like to dispel some of the myths that are out there regarding formula. Now, you'll be pleased to know that in the UK, formula is very well regulated. There are certain government standards that have to be met. And this means that if one company discovers something new that's important and introduces it, the others soon jump on the bandwagon. They're all much of a muchness. The only real differences are non-essentials that get added to look better or sound better, but these aren't actually important for your baby's growth or development. You'll find that the most expensive formula on the market is simply trying to say we're the best, but actually they're fundamentally the same as your cheapest supermarket own brand. Now that you know this, you may want to swap formulas if you're formula feeding. And in this case, I suggest you make a gradual change. Because of those non-essentials, you may find that your baby gets an upset stomach if you suddenly go from one to another. However, if you introduce a quarter of a new formula, 3/4 of the old for a few days, and then 50-50, so half and half, and then 3/4 of the new one, 1/4 of the old one for a few days, your baby probably won't even notice when you make that complete change. The formula companies are part of a multi-million pound industry, and the TV programme Dispatches investigated this a while back. They had on there a twin mom, and her twins were about 1 and she'd formula fed them from the beginning. And she had bought the most expensive formula on the market, believing that this was the best for her babies. They showed her just how much money she would have saved if she had from the beginning fed them the cheaper own brand supermarket type one, and she nearly cried because she would have saved so much money. Formula companies are not actually allowed to advertise first milk, and yet it's only the first milk that your baby needs if you're formula feeding. So from 0 to 12 months old, the only thing that they would need would be first milk, not any of the other milks that they advertise. They're simply allowed to advertise things like follow-on milk. But once your baby gets to 12 months old, they can have cow's milk and don't need follow-on milk. If you're finding that your baby's particularly hungry, you might be tempted to buy hungry baby formula. But this has actually got a disbalance of curds and whey and isn't good for your baby. You're better to simply offer more of the first milk. And if you've got any questions or concerns, do speak to your health visitor. Obviously, everything I've talked about is for babies that can have regular formula and don't have intolerances or allergies, in which case you'd need to speak to your GP. Hopefully, from watching this video, I might save you some money. And if you'd like more information and honest advice, please check out expectingclasses.co.uk.